Are we live? Are we live? I gotta make sure this is the right settings. Hello, 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 everybody. How we doing? I think this thing is going through. I don't know. Is it working? It doesn't seem like it is. Oh, here we go. We are live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Devil Experience. How you all doing? Manchester United 1, Nottingham Forest 0. We're on to the next round of the FA Cup. Um, it was a scrappy game. It was hard to watch at moments. It was frustrating to watch at moments. But Casemiro came through in the end, and he pulled it out for us. And we're on to the next round, and we're going to be playing Liverpool. So we got big games coming up. We got a tough challenge coming against Manchester City. It's not looking in our favor, most definitely, especially with the issues we got going on. And we got another tough and challenging match that's going to come up against Liverpool in the FA Cup. So we got big games coming. This is the time the team needs to step up. And it's difficult. It's difficult. Because of what the team shown today. They did show, fight to stay in there. At periods, at other times, it just looked dreadful. It looked woeful, and it's sort of concerning. And it's hard to go into these matches, positive. Really, because I think I think most people will agree that uh we did not play well today. The performance was pretty woeful, pretty dreadful. At times, there was little small periods, maybe 2 3 minutes, where we looked like we might get our stuff together. We might do something. We might turn it up a notch. But it never lasted for long. And you know what? We were lucky. We were lucky to come away with that. We were lucky that Nottingham Forest aren't a great team. And it has me worried going forward for the Manchester City match. To be straight up honest with you, listen, I love United. I love my team. I love my club. But at the same time, I try to keep it real. I try to look at the facts that we're going off of here, and the fact of the matter is that we are struggling. We are injury hit. We did not look great today, and we're up against it going against Manchester City, and hopefully maybe we could get a couple players by the time we go to play Liverpool again. But for the City game, it's not looking great, man. It's not looking great, and I'm very worried. Um, what the way I'm thinking right now is I hope we don't get smacked 3-0, 4-0, because it's not looking great. But let's get into the match. Because we're here to talk about the match we just played, the FA Cup match, and we're on to the next round. So while it is positive that we managed to win the match, we managed to go on to the next round. There was a lot of there was a lot of not so great stuff today. The team again. If you're talking about a response from the match against Fulham where we lost at home, it was not a great response. I don't think it was a very good response. We looked sort of dysfunctional again. We looked too slow on the ball. We didn't know what to do with it. We didn't know how to create opportunities. A lot of players out on the pitch looked very frustrating. Amrabat struggled, and I feel bad because Amrabat ain't no left back, and it's not his position, and he's slow, and he was definitely put up against it. But I think he looked very uncomfortable on the left hand side. I think he looked more comfortable when he was moved to the right. Again, I'm gonna say, listen, I love Anthony's work rate. In that sense, he's always a fighter. He's always given it 100. But going forward, he's not doing it. On that right wing, and I think, I'm still gonna argue. I want to see him be played on the left. I want to see him be played on the left. I think it's being made harder for him, especially with the way we're trying to play. I don't understand why Ten Hag continues to put him on the right. I think it makes it harder for him. And I think he's making the game harder for somebody that's struggling already. and I don't understand why he won't just let him play on the left and let him be a little bit more comfortable. Um, Especially with the way we were playing. This we haven't always been playing like this. Last season it was a little bit different. We had a lot of overlapping from the right back and the left back, but this season seems to be that the right backs and the left backs are really tucking in, becoming almost like an extra central midfielder, with the wingers really sticking out wide and staying on the touchline. And what I noticed was deep into the second half, before Anthony got substituted, it seemed like Delo was allowed to be pushed more on the to the line to the line, and Anthony was allowed to tuck in more. And actually, I think Anthony improved. It benefited Anthony to be more inside. I think Anthony struggles playing on the touch line. Um, he might be quick in the short term period, like running, but over a longer distance, he doesn't have it. And he always gets caught, and I think he knows that because he hesitates to take players on. He hesitates to try and dribble down the line, like kind of like Garnacho does. And Garnacho has, you know Garnacho still gets caught sometimes, but it doesn't bother him as much, and he still tries it, even though he does probably end up losing the ball. But I think yeah, Rashford, listen, it wasn't a great performance by Rashford, but at the same time, he ain't no number 9. And he stated that he doesn't like playing there. You could tell he doesn't like playing there. He's uncomfortable playing with his back to goal. He wants to have the ball in his feet. He wants to have space to run with the ball and create. So it's while criticism of the performance, because it was a bad performance, but there was many bad performances in my opinion. It's hard to kind of criticize him there as well, because it is not his position. And it leads to him looking like he's not contributing enough. But it's not him, and we're in a shit situation. We're in a shit situation. We're running out of options, and this is why I said, God forbid we lose Rasmus Hoyland, because we don't got another one like him. I don't care who you put up there. We don't got another one like him that can do what he does and what he's been doing and what he's been offering for the team. And we're seeing that now. We're seeing that now. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with this until he gets back. Um, but I think you've seen it in periods of the games. There was a point where I think Rashford kind of just gave up on the middle, and he started drifting out more to the left, and he was picking up the ball, and he actually started to do something when he got into that position. Um, and he was playing over there. So I think it's hard on certain players, because I think a lot of being played out of position. Um, but there's other things like, you know, uh, simple things, just not moving the ball fast enough again. They take too long to move the ball fast. Um, they they lack creativity in certain situations. And they lack the vision sometimes. There's sometimes where it's like there's a player open, they want to hold the ball too long, they try to do something extra. It's not necessary. That should already be cleaned up. Those are things that that Eric Ten Hag needs to address. Those things should already be cleared up. These players, I don't know why they keep doing it. I don't know why they're allowed to keep doing it, because clearly that's not what's supposed to be happening on the pitch, but yet they keep doing it. Um, and that is a criticism of the manager. I don't see too many people. People always shout and yell tactics, tactics, this and that, this and that. Um, those things I'll go with the manager, because those things are things that are fixable. They should be addressed, and they shouldn't be happening, especially because we're at the end of February now. And I think as far as just a team performance, it was a little lackluster. It was kind of disappointing, because it wasn't really the response that I wanted to see from the team after a poor display against Fulham. I actually almost think they put in a very similar performance to the one that they did against Fulham. The only thing was is that Nottingham Forest is more crap than um more crap than Fulham. So they weren't able to score. They created some chances, but they didn't really threaten the goal as much as probably maybe they could have. And yeah, I think it was not the best performance, and I'm worried going into the match against City. I think we're at a weak point. I think this is the worst possible time. It was looking pretty decent a couple weeks ago when we had everybody, and we sort of lost everybody, and we're limping along trying to save ourselves, and here comes a total warrior in Manchester City, and they might just put the sword through our heart and absolutely melt us um on the weekend. And listen, we cannot go and play the way we played today and the way we played against Fulham. We cannot go to the Etihad and play against Manchester City that way. If we played that way, if the team puts in any sort of a similar performance to the way that they just did in the past two matches, we are going to get absolutely cooked by them. We're going to get absolutely cooked. The match will be over within the first half, and it will be a bad day for us. Um, we need to go there. We need to fight. They need to show up. They need to turn up. There's too many times. One of the criticisms I have of this team, and it frustrates the hell out of me, is that there's so many times in the match where it looks like they don't want to win the ball back. Like they don't put an effort. Like where is the warrior mentality? Where is you know, not for nothing. And this has overshadowed everything because Casemiro, he saved us and he should be getting all the praise because you know what? There was times in that match where he didn't look great. He got beat, but this guy out there bleeding for us every match. I think him and Leach are the only ones that actually put their bodies on the line for this team. And it's starting to really piss me off because there's other players in that in the field. They don't do the same. They don't want to win the ball back. They don't put everything in the tackle to win the ball back. And it's almost like they have a reactive approach instead of a proactive approach. Like go get that ball back. Like we're battling here. We're fighting. We're on the field. We're trying to win a match. And too many times it's like they don't want to do it. It's like they don't want to win the ball back. It's like they don't want to put themselves in harm's way or something. It's like a laissez-faire approach to we'll just sit back and eventually the team with the ball will mess up and we'll get it and then we'll try and do an attack. Like, no, go get that damn ball back, dude. Go push them off the ball. Go whatever, man. Let them know you're there. Give them a little knock. Do something. So I criticism of the team. There's too many people that are on there that are soft. I think we're soft. I feel like we're a soft team, and I think part of that is we're missing Lisandro Martinez. He is the warrior of the squad. If you were to pick one, I would tell you that he is the warrior of the squad, 110%. And when he's not in the squad, those levels seem to drop. I think Delo does a great job of trying to keep the back line and the team together, and I feel like he brings a little bit of energy and presence, but it's not on the same level as Licha. I think Casemiro does it sometimes, but there's not enough of them, and there's too many of the softies. Uh, so we that needs to be sorted, man. And that probably goes back to an issue of mentality and attitude and stuff like that. Now, um, I think we stepped it up a little bit in the second half. Because to me, the first half was atrocious. Um, we still could have we still had two very good chances in the beginning of the game, but apart from that, I don't think we did much other than that. Anthony hitting the crossbar, unlucky. I thought it was a great set piece play, and he was unlucky to hit the crossbar. Leaned back a little bit too much. Had to lean over a little bit more. But that technique probably comes from not playing as much. You know, and Scott McTominay had an open header, and based off of this season, you would say he probably should have scored it. But just the chance itself, he definitely should have scored it because I think it was a beautiful and perfect cross from Diego Delo. And he was in the perfect position, and it was almost basically a free header, and I was actually really surprised they didn't score it. And I think he had to do better on that chance, and he should have. He should have definitely 110% scored it. Um, I think we did our best to manage the match with the options we had. I mean, we had a lot of kids on the bench, and we have a lot of players playing out of position due to what we got going on here. Um, but to be fair, at the same time, we did stay in it. They did keep trying to put ourselves ahead. But let's be honest, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. And we set up a game against Liverpool in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And that's going to be a huge match. And I'm not sure exactly when that match is, but hopefully when we go to play that match, the least is that we'll have a couple more players back. Um, you know, it you know it. So I'm here. I'm not gonna do player ratings today. About that. I want to focus more on the team. The thing about player ratings, and I might come back and do them later on. But the thing about player ratings is that it becomes so like individual. When my thing is I want to focus on the squad. I want to focus on the team. Um, because at the end of the day, we are a team and we're putting in team performances, and I want to focus more on that than kind of go through an individual thing and rate every player. Because I feel like that just leads to more individualism of blame when you go through it. And I get why people do it, and I get why people like it, and that's fine. But for me, I want to focus more on the aspect of the team. And as a team, the team performance, it was not great. It was not great. I if you ask me at the end of the first half, there wasn't a player that was over a 6. And I would say there was probably like one or two. Um, it was like one or two, maybe three players that were at a 6. Everybody else was sort of at a 5. And the second half, maybe like one or two more players jumped into a 6, and a couple players stayed at a 5. I mean, Garnacho wasn't his game today. I don't think he was great. Bruno wasn't great. Did manage to get the assist at the end. But that's getting that assist off that doesn't make up for the whole 90 performance. So I don't think he was great. I don't think you know I think Rashford, the chances he got, he didn't take them well. Has to do better, but at the same time, I feel sort of for him because it's just that's just not his position and it just doesn't work for him. But he's gonna have to play there because we don't have any other options, and our squad is thin, and we're just trying to make do till we get our players back. Um, who else? I think Anthony, he played all right in moments. I don't think he played all right the whole match. Again, he is a player that you can bet any amount of money on that if he's there, he's gonna give you 100%. He's gonna bust his ass to get back, cover, track the runners and try to create something going forward. I feel like at moments, still again, he was like afraid almost to try and take somebody on. It's like he knows that he's not going to be able to beat it. But like beat the man, but you can't have that because you need to have confidence that you're going to do it. Otherwise, you're never going to do it. Um, but again, like I said, when he pushed in more inside, he looked a lot better. And I started questioning and thinking, I'm like, well, I think in Ajax, like he was playing more on that inside role, and he was more effective in that role than in the role of what we've been playing so far, which is the wingers are on the line, and the right back and the left backs are tucking in. So I think that might be something to look to. But then again, you can't change the whole system, the way the team is playing to help out just one player, because that's not the correct thing to do either. So like, if you're going to change that whole thing and have the wing backs go on the outside and have the wingers tuck in again, is that detrimental to the team? Does that help the team as a whole? Just because it improves Anthony performance, does it help the rest of the squad? And I don't think so, and I don't think that's something Ten Hag is really willing to do. Now he made the adjustment during the match. And I like that he put on Diallo, and Diallo got about, I think he got like 20 minutes today, so it was 10 minutes up. So I think Diallo's making his way there, and I think we're going to see more of Diallo. I think Diallo was always in the plans to be part of this squad. It was just unfortunate that he suffered the injury he did, and then he came back and he suffered a setback. And you have to take care of your player, and you have to look after him. You have to make sure that he doesn't suffer a major setback. So I think we're seeing him get there. He went from no minutes to practicing well to he got 10 minutes to now he has 20 minutes. So I think he's building it up, and I think we're taking it slow. But I think we'll see more of Ahmad. And Diallo, he made a mistake, hustled back, won the ball, corrected the mistake. He shows a little bit of bright spark here and there. I think he looks quick. But I think we need to see him more. We need more. We need to watch him more to see what he really does have to offer. So I think he just needs to continue on the path he's doing, and we'll get the full picture eventually. Hopefully, stays fit. We need him to stay fit. Um, but I don't want this to run too long, so I think I'm gonna end it here. Um, we'll be doing another live, for sure. We'll be doing another Red Devil recap like we always do against after the Manchester Derby. I guess call me pessimistic or whatever the word is. Not trying to be negative, but I hope and pray we don't get slapped up. Somehow they come out there and they put in a performance, and we get a win or a draw against these guys, which I'm not feeling so positive about right now. Um, I really, if you ask me, if I'm putting a bet on it and I'm putting money on it, I'm gonna bet Manchester City to win. Obviously, I'm still gonna back my team, and I want my team to win, and hopefully somehow we manage to pull it off. But yeah, we'll be doing a Red Devil recap, a live Red Devil recap. If you haven't already, because I forgot to mention in the beginning, but please like, share, subscribe, especially the like button. Smash the like button, helps us out a lot. So we greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys. If you have any thoughts, opinions on anything I said, on the match itself, on anything about United, throw them down in the comments below. We'll get a discussion going in there. I reply to every single person that writes something. So there's that. And until then, enjoy the rest of your week. We'll catch you on the weekend. GGMU. Love you guys all. Thank you for supporting us. And we'll catch you guys later. All right. Thank you very much.